Hi, I'm Diane Mize. I've been an artist for all my life, and I've been an art teacher for well over 50 years. First in high school, then in college, and then in my own school. And now I'm teaching online. I have people who've asked me, can I do some of these tips by video? So this begins a new series. Over here and do this. And we stroke it in. Now, if we surround that gray with any color, the complement, the gray will take on the complement of that color. In this case, we're going to be using black, white with a little black in it for the sky. In other words, we're going to be insisting that the black play the role of blue. Check every week to see what new video idea we've come up with. Enjoy these, and let us hear from you.
Discussion of Riverside Park regulations. Okay, I guess that's why everybody's here. I don't think it's for the millage rate. I guess everybody is going to give their opinion on what we need to do with the park. That's what we're here for.
Park
We're going to spend, pardon me?
Park regulations.
Park regulations, well, and what we're going to do with it. So I think we decided we would spend about 15, 20 minutes this morning discussing that. Is there anyone that would like to say anything? Okay, please step forward and state your name.
Missy Whitlock.
Okay, good morning, Miss.
Good morning. Just wanted to open the discussion again for the possibility of compromise and what are the possibilities of creating the park so people can use it. We talked about, Fred and I talked about the majority of the people in Helen are so happy to have the park back, to have it empty and not have all the issues on the weekends and everything. Well, that says to me that maybe the 230 petitions I collected, the people said they did want the park back. That's a lot of petitions. That's
A lot of those people were not in the, and so I looked at one of those pages that I got Jerry to email me, not interrupted. The list, I guess someone brought in to him. There was 8 names on there that was written by the same person. They were all different names, and they were all written by the same person. I'm not a handwriting expert, but right. I mean, you could just see they were all by the same person. They were all different names.
I agree with
that. It did not give where they were from. They could have been tourists as far as I know.
That was not 230.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, and we have had emails and letters but we do want to do something and I don't think we need grills back except at the pavilion. Okay.
Well, and if there's a number of grills that people have an opportunity to use, then that would be fine. But you can't put one grill and expect, I guess everybody.
Well, if you reserve the pavilion, I believe is the way. And there again, this is just my opinion. I don't know how this works. If you reserve the pavilion for a family reunion or get together. I'm going to say yes, you're going to need a couple of grills. You got 50 people, you're not going to be able to do enough hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever, steaks, whatever you cook. But other than that, the way the park was designed was more or less for people to come have a picnic, not to, build a bonfires and burn our tables and everything that's been happening.
That's exactly, I agree with that 100%. So I'm not in disagreement with that. But, I'm here today because I want to know what are the possibilities.
Well, that's what we're discussing. I mean, I want all the commission's input because we haven't discussed it since the last meeting.
And I do take very seriously the signatures that I received. And to be honest with you, a lot of them were merchants. In Helen that felt that, in fact, one day I went into Bavarian Liquors and he said, what is going on? He said, I've had a slew of people coming in to get their beer and stuff like that, wanting to know what happened, where are the picnic tables, and he said, well, that's kind of why I'm here. So besides pick up wine. But, you know, I said, that's why I'm here, and he signed it immediately. And there were people that were here saying, well, I'd like to sign that, because they heard me talking to him. And I would be very surprised if you see a duplicate signature.
Right, but what we're trying to do is to come up, it is the people's park, it is the tourist park, it's the residents' park.
Right.
And I'm just giving my opinion. Everybody here has their own opinion, and I will go ahead and state mine because, you know, and everybody out there can state theirs.
Right. And I do think it needs to be patrolled more.
Well, it does need to be patrolled. My opinion is we need some benches and we need a couple more swings, okay? That we do need. But I do think we need 2 or 3 picnic tables down there, scattered out, for the reason, if you've got an elderly person, they can't get on the ground. The people coming through that might want to sit down and make a sandwich, you know, they don't always have a blanket with them. We're not going to allow them to put their own tables up.
No.
And just like Jerry said the other day, he went by one day, there was 5 different families under the pavilion at different tables having their sandwiches. Now, if that pavilion had been reserved that day for a family get-together, those people wouldn't have had anywhere, quote, to sit down and make their sandwiches.
Right.
It's hard for someone to sit on a swing and try to put mayonnaise on a piece of bread and,
Right.
you know, or something like that. So, I mean, I think there needs to be somewhere for people to sit down, quote, and have a picnic.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think the grills need to be back because I think it's a fire hazard at certain times of the year. I think it totally got elevated.
Well, that's probably true, and like you said, especially during the week. I mean, weekends are always going to be
Oh, I know.
much more. But during the week, I know when I've gone down, I've seen people, they'll bring their chairs or whatever, and they'll have, you know, go buy a sandwich somewhere and want to sit by the
Well,
river.
see, not everybody carries chairs in their car, and if we're not going to have anything in place for them to sit down, and we're not going to allow chairs, then, you know, they're not going to be able to use it. I mean, it's almost, yes, they can sit in a swing.
Not allowing chairs?
I don't, that's what we're here to discuss. If we do that, then you're going to have a group of 50 just go out there on the river and set up a little circle and, you know.
That's the way that it's been,
Where?
when the
Oh,
river is so
yes.
blocked
Yeah.
by people and that you can't get to the river.
So I don't think we're going to allow them to bring their own chairs. That's why we need something, we need more benches for them to sit on, we need swings, we need some, 3 or 4 picnic
You know, I
tables.
would really be disappointed.
We're looking
If
at,
I
we're
could
already
be-
looking into the park benches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some input on those. And, like you and I talked about the other day, is everybody's got some good ideas. I think the idea you had about moving some of the tables back up to the city park, that's a good idea. I like Jody's idea when I saw her plan out here about crisscrossing the whole park down with walking paths. That's a great idea. This is where we gotta go. We gotta go with this thing, but we cannot allow that, not, if I got anything to do, allow it to, let this thing come back where it was. It was just like gonna happen.
Well, I agree. I can't say I actually saw the destruction. I do know it's mobs of people, but so is town on the weekend. And that's all has to be put into perspective. It's not
Well, they don't
just-
destroy the town, they were destroying our park. I mean, they absolutely, and our policemen are stretched the way it is. And for us to have to hire a full-time person just to patrol the park is crazy. That's not why it was designed. I mean,
Now, how does Terry Sims keep his permit?
I think he charges.
He
So he
charges.
charges and see we do not. So that's the difference.
I talked to Terry the other day, and he's definitely charging.
Terry closed up 2 of his gates there. You know, he had 4
Yes.
driveways, he closed up 2 of them. Now the people going into Terry's, if they come in there, first thing the boys out there say, "You going to 2? Yes. I said, 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, that'll be $20, please. And a bunch of them said, "Oh, well, we don't pay in advance." Well, you know, you do too. If you go to 2, what difference it make if you're going to do it now or later? And then, well, we'll just go somewhere else. Well,
And they're there.
They're
they're there to
there.
camp out. That's what they're there for.
Well, the other possibility is maybe only on weekends is charging a small fee.
No, we don't want to charge it. No, we don't want to do that for our city park.
It's really nice walking
Well,
through there
this is
now,
city
Missy,
park.
when you don't have to step over piles of coals on the ground, you know.
Well, yeah, I can appreciate that.
You can get up to the river, people are sitting in the swings, they're walking through there.
And it would be real easy
Kids
for
have
those
their
coals to catch on fire if people left and just burn, burn everything down. It would not be that hard. And that's,
Well, I'd like to see lawn chairs. I wouldn't like to see that removed. Go down and sit on the bank and so you can see over and read a book.
well, we haven't made that decision. I'm just saying,
They said they can take their own chairs back home with them.
well, and that's true. I mean, but and we may allow chairs and not tables. In other words, we're not going to allow them to bring picnic tables of their own and set them up.
No, of course not.
So I'm just saying that's what we're here to discuss and so anybody got any other ideas? Thank you.
I'd like to see, Jerry and I talk, now that we've got park clean and we can evaluate distances from the river to the end of the tree line, is to go ahead and let's mark off our walk area, because that will define where seating goes. But we need a way for people to walk down through there, even by chips or
Oh,
something.
well, we do, but we need to figure out what we're going to put back for the people. I mean, is it
I think
swings,
that's
is it
dictated
benches? is
based
it-
on where the path goes.
Because we don't want it on top of the path, 'cause
No, but I'm just saying, I do think there needs to be a couple of
Why couldn't we start with maybe putting a few more seats in there and another couple of swings or whatever, 3 or 4, whatever. And if we need more, we can always add more. We can add to our walking park with our walking paths in there.
What about for people to actually sit down and eat? And there is nowhere for people
They
to
can still
put.
go to the pavilion.
Well, if it is leased that day or not leased, if it's reserved, they have nowhere to go. You're right, they can sit there and have it, like Jerry said, there was 5 different families, not even together because it was not reserved.
That's
But if
correct.
it is reserved, then where do they go to have a sandwich? They
They go out there,
can't.
sit on one of the benches.
Well,
on the grass.
Yeah, on the grass.
not everybody carries blankets or chairs, you know?
Well,
To a picnic?
they can do just like when they have the Sautee thing out there. You know, they take their own little chairs and.
Well,
their
so we're gonna allow them to bring chairs out there, then,
Folding
I don't
chairs.
really have a problem. They will take them home with them. They
well, they
won't.
will.
Yeah, exactly. They fold it up, put it back in the trunk.
Jerry, what is your opinion?
Well, I think it needs to be utilized to some extent. Of course, I sent out an email about the pavilion area when it is leased or whatever for an event, that we need to have some grills out there. And what we talked about was 2 or 3 of the regular grills that we had out beside each picnic table put out there. That way, if you got a small family, you get one grill that's large or 2, then maybe up to 3 grills in case you have a big group to cook for. But as far as grills out there, I don't think we have any
Yeah.
more next to the river at all.
I think we're all in agreeing on
And
that.
as far as the trail that Jeff and I talked about, I told Jeff, we have wood chips now that we could put out for a little trail through there. You just need to understand, if you're going to do any type of work like brick pavers or concrete or something like that.
It needs to be as natural.
All that's got to be approved by EPD.
No, we just need chips.
Yeah.
But now, how do you keep chairs off the trail? If you allow people to bring chairs, they're gonna set them up as close as they can to the river,
Hanging from the
and it's
tree.
gonna be all over the trail, unless,
Well, I mean, police patrol and signage is the only way you can control.
Just put up signs, please keep your chairs out.
Keep
You're not
walking.
blocked, you're not blocked.
I don't know how many more signs we can put up there. We got 3 signs in that park down in the park room though.
Well, we're going to be changing the park rules, but
We're gonna
obviously
get
they're not
bigger
reading.
signs.
I don't know.
And those signs are kind of buried between those tall, bushy trees, and I don't think people are even looking at them.
Well, they got one right there behind the pavilion. Anybody go to that pavilion, it's wide open to them. One of them's right out there in the front where they park. If they can't see that, they're blind, they don't need to be out there in the first place. And the others on the other side of the park down there, in a wide open space right down pretty close to Terry's line there. So they're all pretty much wide open in there with the park regulations and so. They just don't read them, or they just don't.
Well, and we're going to have to redo the park rules. I mean, And there again, like Jerry said, we have not ordered the sign because we was not for sure what we were going to put on it. So, you know, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. So,
And as far as the tables, if we put tables back, if people start fighting over them, and, I mean, it's gonna definitely be a first come, first served basis, and, you know, people are gonna come, they're gonna sit for the whole day, they're gonna stake their claim. So I don't know how we, you know, that'll just have to be the way it is. We
The only way
can't.
to keep them open as much as possible is to put a time limit on.
And who's gonna
Who's gonna
monitor
police
that?
that, though? We gotta hire somebody to do it.
That's the only way you can control it.
all I was looking at was putting maybe 3 picnic tables just so people, if you've got an elderly couple, they got their grandkids out there, and their grandkids are just playing, they have nowhere to sit. I mean, you know, not to sit and make a sandwich for them. I mean, you're looking at sitting on the ground or trying to sit in the swing and spread your mayonnaise and all that. And I'm just saying, to me, a park should be where you can sit down and make a sandwich. You don't have to grill out, but at least carry your picnic basket and be able
I
to.
think most people that come to Helen to spend the day though, they're gonna throw those folding chairs in their car.
Well, and to have folding chairs, that's fine. I was just trying to figure out somewhere they could sit something to have a picnic instead of on the ground.
I think we can do a few tables back.
I mean, just let's try 3. And if we have to take them back, we will.
Fred doesn't,
I disagree 100%.
Jeff doesn't want tables.
I wouldn't mind seeing the extra tables up behind the pavilion right there, so you've got a concentration of eating,
In one
but
spot.
not all the way down
But
there.
now, see, to me, if you put them right there, then you're gonna have people use those tables and they're gonna use the grills that are made for the pavilion, or, you know, they're designated for the pavilion.
Eliminate the
Don't put the
tables.
grills on.
Well, you gotta have the grills.
Yeah,
that
put
you
the
don't
grills.
bring in.
I like
Hey, our family has reunions every 3 or 4 years. I mean, we got a big family. We got 140, 50 people be there. I've never seen a grill at one of them. For God's sake, how do we eat without a grill?
Well, when you go to.
Everybody brings something.
Well, Fred, a lot of the outings, I mean, birthday parties and stuff like that,
And
kids,
bring it already.
they grill hot
Cook
dogs.
hot dogs.
That's,
So you're gonna have to have a couple of them.
I
I
think,
mean, just like when the
Yeah.
shrine, they use that area, they bring a big grill, they grill out for their group, and, you know, other.
Do they make a type of, and I've not looked at any of the picnic tables, you know, this week, because I was not for sure, you know, what we were even looking at putting back. Where they have the benches, do they have some type of the same type of not like a quote picnic table, but some type of another table you could sit there just to put your stuff on if you wanted to have a picnic and sit on the bench? Is there something like a little, well, I know it is. I mean, besides the huge picnic tables where they seat 15 or 20 people, I'm just saying, or put 2 benches together.
You talking about a table with no benches.
Well, or even 2 benches, in other words, something to sit with one next to it, so, I mean, just, I don't want to sit on the flipping ground and spread mayonnaise or mustard or ketchup, I'm sorry.
Most people already have their sandwiches. They go.
Like I said, we're getting in an argument over here. Just call Wendy's and have them deliver, is that what you want? Call Cindy's. Cindy, we'll put your phone number up and say. Well, I am for a couple of something tables or something for people to set their food on if they want to make a sandwich. Now,
They can go in the pavilion, that's my opinion.
if it is preserved, where do they go, Fred?
They go out to one of the seats out there.
I don't want to just litter the park back up with
Oh, I don't want to
benches,
limit.
but,
We're
I
inviting,
mean,
how many put
tables.
back, whatever percentage you put back, that's how many percentage you
Well,
invite
I'm
back.
just saying I would be
I think we
put
can handle
Well, they
3.
have campers.
If we put 3 back and if it becomes a problem, we'll take them out. But I think there needs to be something for people to sit down and have a picnic and
They
they,
go both of them.
no, well, I mean, yeah, if y'all want to.
and I agree, I mean, if it does become a
We
big
can always
problem,
take
take
them
them
out.
out. If people fight over them, if they, you know, if it turns into a big mess,
Take them back.
as long as they're
We
not.
tried it the other way for years, it didn't work.
We've had 13 and it became a tent city. What I'm saying is if we put the new rules and regulations, you can't bring your grill, this and that, and you got 3 picnic tables, 1 at each end and 1 in the middle, just for people to sit down and be able to put their picnic basket and have a lunch.
Most city parks, if you jumped out of the car with a can of lighter fluid, they'd put you in jail.
Well, we're not gonna have
I
fires.
think that's a fact.
But we're not talking about fires, Fred. We're not
Well, how you
talking
go out
about.
with fire, gotta have a grill, that's
We're
fire.
not talking about
No,
that.
just tables.
We're just looking at three
No
tables,
grills
no,
back.
no grills at all.
Absolutely.
Except at the pavilion, just a
Like I
place
said, we
to.
tried it for years the other way, I like the way it's working out now, and so.
Well, y'all do what you want to do. I mean, I just want my opinion to go on the record.
I do think we need to compromise some in this, putting back 3 tables with no grills. We're not allowing hammocks and tents and cooking and all that. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. If it is, like Donna said, take them out.
I'll go,
Try-
for-
try
I'll go,
three.
for- I'll go for the benches, the swings. I wouldn't go for any more tables, we got 10 tables down there.
I would like to read an email I got this morning, or a text. I texted her back and asked if I could read it in the commission meeting. It says, "What time is the meeting today? Just want to commend all the Helen City Council members for supporting a better Helen for all to enjoy, and also keeping in mind the health and safety of its citizens and guests. It's not easy to please all. Decisions made by this council will affect all future goals of maintaining crowd control and the serenity of the river. After all who we attend will only increase until we no longer recognize our town. As a regular to walk in the park or walk in the city park all year long, it's a joy to be able to enjoy it and not stumble over campers who take up all the space and make it very uncomfortable for all others. Keep up the good work, Gail and Jerry Murdoch." So I told her I would read to her email this morning too.
Well, I ditto that. That's exactly how I feel.
Ron out there, you're a merchant, Ron. Has anybody said anything?
Well, a lot of people have said some things. You know, we got the season here, we bring families in here with kids. There's a certain age and height and everything for the river. And you got families that's got these little kids that don't have no place to go. So what do? They go in the dollar store, destroy the place. They go in the other stores and destroy the place. I feel like they need to be a place where the families that's got the little ones can take their kids to. And if we don't want the tables on the river, put them away from the river. Don't put them right down in the path.
Well, we don't have to, I mean, just anywhere under a tree for them to have a picnic.
shade.
I mean,
Well, that's
a
good.
shade.
I
But
mean, I walked the park too, and you got trees down through there, and you got the shade on the side of the river that they can get in, or you can put them on this side of the trees instead of down next to the river. And I agree with a walk. You know, everybody needs to exercise and enjoy the park instead of just, you know, making an institution out of this place. Really, we invite families and tourists to come to this town, and we need things for the younger people to do.
They have a park there, Ronnie, all they gotta do is go to the park, everybody's invited.
Well, Fred, I mean, the local restaurants, I'm sure you've been in them, with people that's got little kids, and how rowdy they can be in a restaurant. You know, we need a place that where the parents can take these kids.
We had it all weekend long, with people playing in the park. At one time, I went up there when Missy and I were talking, there were 48 people in that park at 2:30 in the afternoon. Some of them were down there playing, kids romping around there, some were out on the swings out there, some of them were in the pavilion out there, everybody was in the swings out there. Everything we had down there was taken up.
And the other part
And then
of
the kids were having a good time.
that's because the pavilion was not reserved. If it's reserved, then they have nowhere
If it is
to.
reserved, they have no place to go.
That's all I'm trying to
I
say.
mean, we got
That's
families.
what we're gonna put the park bench
So we have the other part up on the hill too.
You got, I agree, you got the apartment on the hill, but then again, you got the families that's got the smaller kids, that's got bigger kids that's in the river that they're waiting on.
And then we do have the equipment for the small kids to get on the playground. I think they both of them.
We got better children equipment up on the Helen Hill than we do down here. I went and looked at it yesterday.
This is a smaller area. This was Derek Vander.
Which point taken, good, Ronnie. We just got a direction to about 8 acres we bought in 98.
Well, I mean,
And I went up there yesterday and there were 20, 30 people walking, no kids out. School starts back next week, but we got 2 big parks.
And they're picnicking up there a lot too.
well, on the average day during the week, 20 or 30 people is average.
I mean, everybody
But
wants
what
to be
about on the
here.
weekends when we've got, 4, 5, 6,000 people in this town? Or maybe 10,000 people? I mean, we need to provide a place for these people to go.
Everybody wants to be next to the river, we all know
Well, I
that.
agree. I mean,
But we don't want it blocked off where
we
nobody
don't
can
want
see.
it blocked off. I agree with that. I agree with the walking trails and things through there, but you know, we got that big grassy space there. I mean, why can't we have some cornhole games or some horseshoes or something other for the people to do instead of destroying the places? I mean, the reason our bathrooms get tore up and things like that, you know, people are pissed off because of the way we're doing it. And they go in there and say, the heck with it, and they, you know, tear everything up, which hurts everybody else.
I don't do that. You do it. If you get mad at something, you go and tear the bathroom up, knock the commodes off the damn floor, knock the
No, sir,
sinks
I
out
sure
the
don't.
floor.
I sure don't.
Why don't you?
Because I was raised better.
Well,
But there's a lot of
evidently, these
out
people
there-
weren't raised better.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that get upset because things happen.
If, Ronnie,
You've seen it.
let me ask you this, if we provided the cornholes, horseshoes, whatever, after one day, somebody would take them home with them, so where are they gonna check them out? And the hours people are down there, City Hall is not open on the weekends.
Well, that's true too.
So what I'm saying is there's gotta be somewhere for them to, quote, check them out and make sure they check them back in.
Well, I mean, we've got the pavilion there. I mean, why couldn't we put a little booth in there for, you know, for somebody there to kind of look after the
Well, the
place?
pavilion is for people to reserve to have family get-togethers and stuff
Well,
like
I
that.
understand that, but what I'm saying is a place somewhere there, that it could be a guard shack. Somebody, one person could be there and rent this stuff out, leave a license for the horseshoes or, you know,
Well,
things like
there
that.
again, the city is looking at having to employ somebody else, you know,
Well-
and rent equipment. That's not what the park is for. The
I
park
know
is
it's
for
not.
everyone
I know
to
it's-
enjoy.
I mean, if we've got the tables down there, if people want to reserve tables and pay $5 for a half a day, $10 for the whole day, why not take that money and employ somebody and create a job?
You know, it's the same thing when we had tried to recycle in this town, and we hired somebody, we didn't make enough money on that to pay an employee.
Well, I mean, you
You know,
know,
you try to do things, and then people don't really use them.
well, if it don't
And
work,
let people
try
bring
it.
their own games and balls and things, just like they do, you know, and enjoy the area that we
Bring their
provide.
frisbee or whatever they want to. That's what that is for.
Throw a softball with your
And
kids.
you can do football, whatever. What we said was no organized sports as far as
Organized.
bringing teams
Yeah.
from
And
Gainesville.
there were 6 little boys out there kicking a soccer ball around the other day, and it was wonderful, you know, that.
We got all those signs out there, and it's only in English. I mean, we're a pavilion town. I mean, these people that come to this town are tourists from all over the world.
Well, we can't put so many signs and have 10 different languages. And I'm gonna say this, if I go to another country and I'm gonna participate in anything, then I better know how to speak their language. I don't
I
expect them
agree
to have
with
everything
that, I
written.
agree with that, you know, I don't, you know, which one for English, or, you know.
No, I mean,
But-
if you're gonna live here, you need to know how to, you know, they
But
know
these
what the
people
stop
come
sign
in here,
is.
And they watch us and they react like us. You know, we teach these people coming from another country, and they watch us and they do as we do. I mean, if we're gonna act like this and people's gonna come in
Act
here,
like
and they're
what?
gonna act like that too.
Act like what?
Well, I mean, we got organized sports. Everybody looks at that sign like, damn, we can't even play ball. I know
What
it
it-
says
what it
organized
means
sports,
is
but
teams.
some people don't understand that.
Teams of people coming up and actually having their soccer game out there, and then whoever wins that one, they play this other team.
Well,
That means nobody else can use the park. They are taking over the whole park if you do that.
We need to
Whether it is
hear
soccer,
those
whether it is,
How much clearer
That's what
can you make it?
organized
It says
means.
not
Yeah, no.
organized. I have not met
Okay, let's
anybody
take
in
organized
Helen
out.
that's ignorant enough that they don't know the difference between
Take-
organized sports and
Let's
play.
take the word organized out and put team.
Well, I mean, true.
Maybe they'll understand that.
Just make it explain,
No,
what people will understand.
Organized team sports.
family sports, you can, you can play ball, do anything you want to. It's just team sports. We put organized because that to me, it means it's organized teams. You know, you got a referee, you mark it off and that's
Well,
organized.
they were taking it over and running the grass, just absolutely running it down to the dirt.
Well,
That's
so
what we
how many benches are you looking at wanting to put? I mean, What type of benches, I don't know, I mean, that's what,
Well, that's what we're looking into right now. I just had one that I gave to Jerry yesterday, and I've been looking at different things, people, and we still need input from anybody, you know, just put down in writing what you want. And let us all look over it and see what we can and cannot do. It's,
Well, we've got
the-
three-
I'm
right
putting
now,
three
right-
picnic tables.
Don't we have 3 swings right now that are one,
Yeah,
2, 3,
or 3 or
maybe
4.
2 more swings and have 5 swings, and then
we
a
get
couple of benches. In
What I
between the
looked at
swings.
yesterday, they got 5 of them. It's
And
loaded.
then maybe a couple of tables back behind that.
Check that out, and if we need some more, let's get some.
I would be for putting 3 tables and pulling them off the river under a tree somewhere, and no grills, and if they cause a problem, take them out. I don't think they'll cause a problem if there's no grills and if they're not on the
And add
river.
some swings and benches.
And just for people to sit down and be able to have a picnic.
And let's try
I don't
to
want them to take.
let's try to designate the walking path a little bit better with some fresh mulch.
Can you put, well, I don't know if you did the colored mulch compared to regular mulch, at least that way it would define it, or can you kind of put,
We can put any kind you want if you want to furnish the money for them.
Well, then
We
normally,
have a regular mulch.
normally what you have to do is put the regular mulch down first, get it worked in, and just top it.
And then top it.
well, you know, a lot of them that are nature trails like that, they put like, little logs, you know, just natural logs that you find around the side of it, you know, to kind of hold it in to keep the rain.
When they
from-
stuck the toe on the log, they gonna try to sue you.
Yeah.
I've already had that come up a couple of weeks ago, stuck the toe on something like that.
Really?
They thought it was Terry Sam's property, they were gonna sue him. So,
Well-
I mean, I hate to be negative about that.
Oh, I know,
That's just today's world, you know.
Well, is there any other input from the peanut gallery out there?
I just want to say on the signatures that I brought in, that 70, I do know that like one person was put all the names down there, and those individuals either lived here or they were tourists that were in, that were wanting to know about the petition, so that's how that happened. It
Yeah.
wasn't me writing down.
No, I didn't think it was.
Somebody
you guys.
wrote them all down, Sue, there was 8 in a row there.
Understood.
Okay, on the other side, all the Joneses were signed by the same person. All the Aubes or Aubrees were signed by the people.
Exactly.
And another right above it was 4 more above them. At least 28, I think we checked, were signed by 4 or 5 people.
Exactly. And so the way that would happen is I had it right in front of my register. And when we were talking about what was going on, they were reading the paper and they were like, we want to sign it. So I may have Mrs. Jones standing here and then I wasn't watching, sitting there signing for the group that was with her. That's how that happened. Just to clarify.
I don't know, I thought maybe like some of these cities now, they go down through the graveyard and get Jones here,
Yeah.
Jones.
Not it.
Okay, is there any other comments? City Commission comments? None?
We got a group of people that are here looking for answers to what we may do with the park. And I think we've come up, and in good faith, I think we can actually state some things that we are in agreement on and go ahead and get started. One is that it's been discussed to add grills next to the pavilion, total of about 3. Is that not? That's what I hear from y'all.
Yes.
And they would be placed next to the pavilion. And those could only be used by people that rent the pavilion out, correct?
Or lease it, yes.
So is everybody in agreement on that?
Unless it's just empty, wide open, and nobody's there.
Right. And they couldn't be used.
First come, first served.
Number 2, is everybody in agreement on the walkway? And Julie laying it out with his people.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 3,
Wait a minute, let me understand, on the grills, you're gonna allow them to be used if nobody's got the pavilion rented?
No.
Okay, all that have got it rented.
Right.
they go
With the
with the
pavilion.
pavilion.
How do you stop them from using it though, if,
Just put a sign up, these are to be used if you reserve them. for the summer.
Reserved for pavilion use only.
but you can use the pavilion
Yes.
if nobody's there, but not the
Right.
grills?
And you gotta sign up for it. I think we talked about the walking path. we talked about 2 additional swings, and those are nice swings, they're powder coated. I have any objections to swings down there. And the 3 or 4 benches. I think if we go through those and get it laid out, then we'll be in a better position talking about the tables later.
I still want to go on record that I think we need about 3 tables. They don't have to be on the river, but I think
I
elderly
just like
people
to see
need.
those done last.
Right, well, I'm just saying, I think they, elderly people need a place they can sit down without having to try to sit on a swing or a bench with, you know, and make
I'd like to
themselves.
see a couple of benches put up close to the sidewalk, you know, where somebody just wants to come in, or somebody's walking and they're tired, they can sit down and next there.
That's
I mean, I don't want to face the street now, I understand, I'd like to see face.
You mean like Cleveland?
Yeah.
Well, that
It's a
looks,
start.
that looks like, you know, what we're gonna start doing, but I just wanna go on record as yes, I think we do need some picnic tables
And we're gonna allow people to bring chairs?
I guess so.
And that would be the next.
But they can have
They can bring
chairs,
their
they
own.
cannot bring their own grills, they cannot,
This chair.
no organized sports, no tents, no hammocks.
Anything else?
Well, we'll be able to tell them.
Yes,
The chairs, I mean, if you post, the chairs are not allowed.
no, you are gonna be allowed to bring your chairs.
Yes, but it maybe it could be posted on the rules. The chairs are not to be taken down.
The chairs not be taken
You
down.
go, well, you said you were worried about people being in the river, taking
No.
their chairs and sitting down in the river.
No, we was talking about being in the walkway. but,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not blocking the wall.
But I think most people, if we make it defined, they're not gonna put their chairs in the middle of the walkway.
Exactly.
You know.
The other thing I did talk to Fred about, it was a suggestion because it has to be natural. I think that there should be a path to go, I mean, that's my personal opinion, a path to go down to the river. So kids can go down and they can sit on the edge and put their feet in and play in the river. I don't think, there's so many people on that river floating, I don't think it's gonna really make a huge difference. And to designate a certain path. We talked about, I just laid River Rock, and it was $50. We did our very large area, and it was $50, but, what do you call it? A scoop. And it's, you know, it's all natural, and it kind of, as you walk on it, and it gets rained on, and the elements and everything, it goes into the ground, so it's not like you're slipping on them. And, like I said, it's natural, it's river rock.
Well, and there again, with it being on the river, Jerry, EPD and EPA, they won't let us put anything.
Well, they
That will-
go have to go through the planning and all the
Right.
process.
Takes years.
Meet all their specifications and, you know, I mean, you
'Cause I
can
thought it
do
was
it,
just-
but it'd take a year at least
Yeah.
to go through the process, plus.
At least it would keep people off the bank, maybe if we did have one area for them to get down in the river instead of, and let the other kind of grow up, you know, in
There's a
vegetation.
couple of places absolutely dangerous to walk down to, where that old concrete protruding up into the bank. I think Rod was down the day that I was down there, and look, there's some places down there, if you stumble down that tree, you knock your brains out of that concrete that's down
Well,
there.
maybe, you know, maybe we need to look at actually putting one area for people that do want to get in it and just let the other kind of, you know, grow up natural to keep them off of that, you know, and even if even if it takes a year with the process, you know, go ahead and get the permits and get it done, you know, with steps.
Well, I mean, you have to hire an engineer to
Right.
design it and.
It's gonna be too costly.
Well, it's not gonna be too costly, not if it's something that needs to be done and keep people off of the banks, and in the long run, we need one
Yeah,
place for them like this.
They're the one that got to approve it. though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, we might just wanna look into it, because I think it would be better than just letting people go up and down the banks the way they want to. That there, you know, it's just my opinion. Any other comments?
Yeah, I'd like to say,
Please,
I
state your
wanna-
name, please.
Chris Swearing. I do a lot of fishing up and down the river. I don't think the trash is honestly ever gonna go away. It's all up and down the river. I'm a big daddy every Sunday. I see clear across the street what happens over there. Some ideas that I have, I three tables is a great start, but maybe possibly setting a time limit. I mean, I even thought a picnic meter, that might be a little much.
That's a good one.
Yeah, maybe the grill should go, but I honestly don't think the trash is gonna go away regardless, but I'm the one fishing, walking up and down that river, picking people's trash up. I don't know if there's anybody doing such a thing. But that's just a couple ideas that I have.
Do you think most of the trash though is from tubers coming down?
It's tubers, it's fishers, it's fishermen, it's everybody.
A lot of times, head of the river too, from the camp area. We had a similar complaint yesterday about, trash in the river. Another fisherman, you might know it, Steve Fowler, he fishes in the river all the time.
Yeah.
And he said it was absolutely atrocious.
Floating down, and I don't know if the tubing company, and that's kind of a whole other subject, but I don't know if they have somebody that cleans up every day.
They're supposed to.
Once a week.
Yeah, that's the schedule, you have to do it
Yeah.
a week at a time.
And, you know, I
Flip
get
flops, water bottles.
down some ravines.
Well,
and
I think I sent y'all a copy of the email I asked the lady that was complaining about trash being in the river. And that particular day, I happened to visit the river because two of my granddaughters were tubing out the river. Sat there with my wife and other daughters for a few minutes, and I actually witnessed Cool River tubing with two people
In the river.
and Helen tubing also with two people. Matter of fact, they were all together, full of tubes, full of trash, had trash bags full of trash. and
Cleaning it up.
So it is getting picked up.
They do it every
Can they
day.
get it? It's been going down it this year, can they get it clean every day? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly, there's probably no way. Also, maybe another suggestion for the sign is no litter punishable up to.
I'd like to put about $10,000, but I don't think it's table limits. Thank you.
Put that big and bold and
Do
clear.
you think it would help if we had one area at the park, a nice area for people to walk down instead of just using the banks, the way it is now? You think that would maybe look nice? I think it would be,
This is the way I need to talk as a city manager. With the bank being like it is, that's natural, that's the natural thing. Somebody falls and gets hurt, I don't think we'll allow it.
No, we're not
Put in
allowing.
something and they fall and get hurt.
I'm just saying, I think it would grow up more natural if we had them an area to walk down so they did not go up and down.
I'm just bringing that to your attention.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it. I need a motion to adjourn.
You got it.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye.